everything to something, you have to realize that
We're matching.
we're pink and black.
We should do that. Be like, what colour are you wearing? And then I'll just wear it.
We'll match in somewhat way or form.
Oh. You know what I just remembered? I didn't do the Christy Graham Kumabi in our first episode of the year.
We'll scrap it, delete it.
I'm gonna have to go back and re-record that.
How do we start the year without you giving me the big
Is this bad juju?
juice? No.
Okay, no, we're not starting the year off like that. No, it's all right. It's all right. I'll make up for it in the second episode, like right now.
Ready?
Hi! Welcome to the second episode of the year. Welcome to 2025. This is the Special K Unwrapped podcast, and the woman of the year, Christy Graham Kumabi.
There we go. That's better.
Is that better? Gotta make up for that episode that I missed.
Oh
Okay, so 2025, we are here and we are gonna smash you out of that fucking park.
no. Yeah, I'm actually really excited for 2025.
Same, sister. So am I.
I'm really excited. There's a lot gonna happen.
Yeah. If you did miss our first episode of the year, we were talking about just how shit 2024 was, but how
We're not all negative.
It's about look at it as a positive, as a preparation for this year. You'll look back on this year now and go, holy shit, I'm so grateful for 2024. It prepared me.
Yeah, I'm super grateful for the shitstorms of 2024. They were awesome.
It's funny because you're never grateful for them at the time.
Oh,
Not until post.
no.
Right?
Yeah, at the time it's pretty heavy.
Yeah, it is.
But it always works out, doesn't it? It always
growth, it's the growth that you get from it that I feel like you appreciate.
works out, and you think, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be who I am, where I'm going.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm super excited for 2025.
Me too. Now, in today's episode, we are going to talk about, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of like, oh, do you or don't you? It all depends on what your goals are. We are going to talk about when it comes to putting your eggs in baskets, or even if in one basket, because as we've discussed this topic off air, is to succeed in life and to succeed in a goal that you want, like you going to Olympia,
Something big and heavy,
Huge, right?
Huge goal.
like this is everything
Yeah.
in your life right now. It requires you to put all your eggs into one basket, and as much as that is needed to succeed to a certain extent, it's also shit scary, because
It's really scary.
if you drop that basket and all your eggs crack,
You're stuffed. Yeah.
it's that's something that it takes a lot to recover.
And they say don't put all your eggs in one basket.
yeah.
And the concept of that is awesome. But if you don't put all your eggs in one basket, how do you know how far you can go?
Well, yeah. That's
If
exactly
you
right.
don't give it absolutely everything.
Yeah.
And I think I was saying when we were talking about this, I said to, like with my husband, he's like, you're going to go at this, go all in. I'll support you. You go all in.
Yeah.
And guess what? That means that sacrifices have to happen.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about in the first episode, if you go at something and your priorities, sacrifices have to happen for this priority to be above this priority.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you put all eggs in one basket, these priorities get down the ladder quite a lot. And that's a hard decision to make.
It really is.
You know?
You gotta think and we're talking like sacrifices that involve, other people, people that are close. I feel like that's the hardest one to deal with, because essentially you're hurting other people by putting your own sacrifice, by putting your own needs first and your own goals.
Yep.
And then you kind of got to go, well, are they really a friend? If they don't understand that this is what you need to do to get there. And your true friends will stick it through. The ones that don't, probably just don't understand where your goals lie.
Either they don't understand, or there could be alternative motive, or they don't have the right intention behind the connection or friendship or whatever it may be. I think, and I always come back to my kids, the hardest one for me is, and as you said, I'm throwing pretty well all my eggs in one basket. And especially for 2025, there's huge goals there. And the goal to get there at the end of the year in October, Olympia, requires me to be all eggs in one basket for the entire year from day one. So, the hardest one for me is my kids. My kids, not only do I sacrifice, but they sacrifice too. Like they don't have mummy. Like I'm going to be in the States for a month in July, August. And I'm actually thinking about possibly going to the States in March as well, just to meet and greet and
just to get yourself known.
A little bit, but also meet Coach and in person and go from there, so that at the beginning of prep he will see the physique and just a little bit more biofeedback from there and go from there. But also if I can tee it up with maybe a big comp that's on at the same time, go meet and greet and just get my face out there and that sort of thing. So America possibly February, March, and then again July, August for a month, and then October for another 2 to 3 weeks. Even just that, let alone the time training, eating, sleeping, recovering, chiro, massage. Laser therapy, this, that. And
believe it or not, it's not just working out.
It's just not working out. And, that's just spilling off a few things. And then, before prep, I go and then prepping the body. I go and get skin treatments. I go and get this and that. That's a lot of time away from my family, from my kids. And as a mum, that's really hard. So throwing all of your eggs in one basket is a very hard decision. But I think
to do what you need to do.
Or go to the level that you want to go to, like that really top level, whether it be as an athlete, whether it be as a successful business person, whether it be whatever it may be, I think it requires that imbalance to get there.
Exactly. I just lost my train of thought. Oh shit, where was I going with that? I have to cut this a little bit out.
So what happens if you put your all eggs in the wrong basket?
Is that what we were? No, because I don't. Oh, yeah, I think we were. I know there was
Not in the
something
wrong
else before.
basket.
No, before I moved on to that, I wanted to. There was something else, but we might just have to skip to that. There was something else I wanted to talk about before we got to that. Okay, so how do you deal with that fear? All your eggs are in this one basket. How do you deal with that? If have you prepared for if that basket drops? What's going to happen?
That's a hard one, isn't it? Like, how do you prepare?
Oh well.
It's really hard because you can't foresee the future. You don't know what's going to happen. And when you throw all of your eggs in one basket, a lot of the time you think you're going to be in that basket till retirement or till whatever it may be, right? And same with coaching or whatever it may be. But environments change, things change, you change, your goals change, your priorities change, the way you think changes, and whether it be good, bad, ugly, pretty, whatever may happen, sometimes the eggs don't fit the basket anymore. And then what do you do? That's when you go, okay, well, I've put all my eggs in one basket. And that's what I was saying. Like, I think a big lesson for me and a lot of people is realizing that there's always other baskets. And we forget that.
Well, when you are focused on one goal.
And when you're so focused, especially when it's a big goal. And I think if it's something that you love and you're so passionate about, you're scared that the other basket is not going to be as good, or
Yeah.
it's not going to fill the void of what you're
Yeah.
deciding whether this basket still fits my eggs or not.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, I feel like constantly adjusting as well too. And I do get this whole all your eggs in one basket because I did that to, you know, in my career as a radio announcer. You know, all my eggs were in one basket. I had one goal, and that was to become an announcer, and I had to put in all my eggs in one basket. And you know, I've got some very lovely understanding friends, some friends that really, you know, had to drop off. I missed, you know, families' birthdays, weddings, baby shower, like important things, just because that was my had my mindset on this goal. And this, I think this is why this has come up, because I've recently found myself or had found myself with a dropped basket and all my eggs cracked.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember saying to you, you know, at the end of last year, you know, if I had my time again, I wish I was just more prepared. For that to happen.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about it. That wasn't even an option for me. You know, but because I feel like it's because I didn't readjust to my changing surroundings and what was happening in my life at that time.
I think when you're so focused and so in love with what you're doing and so passionate about what you're doing, you don't expect, you know, things out of your control to happen, right?
Yeah.
And the basket is the environment.
Yeah.
The eggs are you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, you know, if there starts to be cracks in the basket, or if the basket breaks down, or the basket changes color and it doesn't suit your eggs anymore, like, it doesn't have to be a crazy negative thing. It can just be changes that happen. You don't expect that to happen.
Yeah.
It's out of your control, and you
Yeah.
can't foresee the future.
Yeah.
But I guess what we were talking about is that even though that may be the case, there's always other options.
Oh, yeah.
And I
there
think
is.
we're so focused and so in love in a positive regard of what we're doing that we don't see any other option because we don't need it at that
No, that is
time.
true.
So, but then boom, something happens.
Yeah.
And you haven't, like, you know, especially spur of the moment, if
Yeah.
something happens or
Yeah.
something blows up or
Yeah.
whatever it may
Yeah.
be, you're like, fuck, now what am I going to do?
Girl,
like,
I dropped the
like my
basket.
basket's gone, and
I dropped the basket, smashed on my eggs, and then kicked the basket to fucking next year. Like, you know, like I was, you know, and felt, and was lost, you know, felt really like, you know, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that have, you know, been in this situation as well too. You know, and then sitting in that silence of like, okay, I'm just going to weave myself another little
basket here.
But I'm going to make this one, you know, I'm going to make multiple more sturdier, you know, and give myself options. So a huge lesson was learned for me, you know, the previous year before last. So, I that's why I don't, you know, I'm probably projecting my fear onto you of like, because when I see people that put everything in one basket, I'm
think,
like, are you
prepared
for
No,
anything? Not that I think anything's going to happen, but neither did I. And
That's
you just,
right. And how do you know that something's going to happen?
Yeah.
You can't predict the future. You don't know when something's going to fall apart or change. So I think that's an awesome thing to bring up. Say, like, are you prepared for change?
Yeah.
Are you open to change?
Yeah.
Do you, like, even though you don't have to sit in fear all the time of something's going to fall apart, you don't want to be like that. Yeah. Throw all your eggs in one basket. Be positive. Delve head first.
Yeah.
Be focused.
Yeah.
But always know that there's more.
Yeah.
Always know that there's other. And I've learned too, like, through what I've been through in the last, you know, few months, there's always other options.
Yeah.
And yes, when one door closes, another one always opens.
Yeah.
And
Kick the door down if it doesn't open either.
yeah, push it, because you know what? Most of the time you see a closed door and you think it's locked,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's because you look at it and go, okay, the door's closed, it's locked. It's not locked.
Yeah.
All you have to do is turn the handle and push it.
Walk back through.
Yeah. But we're so scared because as soon as we see that closed door, we put up a barrier.
Yeah. 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 No, it's true.
Right? And you walk straight past it.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that it's actually a doorway to something. It's completely unlocked, but you have to push the door open.
Yeah. Go to the next house and push open that door. I reckon I'd have to use that analogy to go,
Yeah, absolutely.
If you associate
Yeah.
feelings with, or with a certain door that has closed, you fucking burn that door down. Go to the next
Yeah.
house and open that door.
Yeah.
Envision a brand new door to open.
Yeah. New door, new basket.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think I think that is the big lesson, and what from your experience, projecting not that fear but that opportunity. Like, I think you've turned it now into, okay, well, from now on I'm gonna, even if I throw all my eggs in one basket, and you know where your passion lies, you know where your love lies, and what you want to do and where you want to go, but knowing that if things change, you can change too. You can always, and that's what my husband said, go all in.
Yeah.
Give it your all.
Yeah.
But always know that you can turn around at any stage and go, I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
And there's a fear around changing your mind, right? Because especially if you've been so focused, so passionate.
And you've lost so much.
And you've lost so much. You've sacrificed so much. And if you're a people pleaser, then you're going to go, oh, like, how am I going to change my mind? Like, I'm going to look so stupid, or I feel like I'm letting so many people down.
Yeah. I feel like I was so hurt in following my passion a lot. Like, a lot of my heart hurt a lot because I felt like in order for me to achieve what I wanted, was letting a lot of people down. And because I am a people pleaser, it hurt me a lot. Like, I had to switch off, I had to, and I probably turned into what others would see as a bit of a cold bitch when it came to, my outside life, because I struggled to care too much because I knew that if it came between, my friend's wedding or whatever, and a huge opportunity for me to make it further along in my career, I was always going to choose my career.
Your career. Yeah.
Looking back on it, should have I? Like, I'd probably go, no, I wish I did. I wish I did take the time to, enjoy my friends' achievements and whatever. But at the time as well too, I knew what I needed to do. I knew the opportunities that I needed to take to go forward, to make sure that all those sacrifices were worth it.
Yeah, I think the importance behind this, and I've talked about this before, is communication around the sacrifice with whomever the sacrifice involves. And just being so open and honest and vulnerable about it.
God, it comes. I've done it.
It's hard.
Selfish. It comes across so selfish. And people don't see your
100%. It comes across selfish, and I think it's really hard. But I truly believe if someone loves you enough and you express enough what you want and what you want out of it and where you're going and how much you love it and how much it means to you, I feel like they will support you. Same with hubby, kids and friends. Like, I think we spoke one day, I have a friend and we met up the other night for dinner. I don't know how long it's been since I've seen Letitia. Like, and she lives here on the Sunshine Coast. She lives 20 minutes away. But we hadn't seen each other actually in person, and we're very close. Like, she'd be one of my besties. And we haven't seen each other for well over a year, probably.
Yeah, wow.
But she supports what I'm doing.
Yeah.
She knows that I'm going ass to grass, and she watches socials. She messages every now and again. I message every now and again. And when we meet up, she goes, like, it feels like we've just seen each other yesterday. And she goes, I do freaking miss you. I get FOMO. And she goes, I wish that I was there for you. I wish we'd seen each other. Like, we've both missed each other's birthdays and this and that. But she goes, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I know how hard you're working, and I know where you're going. And not everyone is going to be that understanding, and you have to accept that too, that not everyone is going to be that understanding. But it's a hard one, isn't it? It is a real hard one.
I mean, especially when your friends are at different stages of their life. Like, that's a huge thing as well too. When I was starting off my career, a lot of my friends were getting married and having babies. And I was like, that is the furthest thing from my mind right now, and whereas now I'm like now more focused on my family, my relationship, my family. and all my friends that have, like, their kids are now 16 to 18, 20 years of age. And all my girlfriends are thriving in their career. So we've done this full
opposite.
360 in each other's lives. And now it's almost, we've all become so much closer because we're all, they're asking me about, a career advice. And I'm asking them about relationship and, family advice. So, it does switch around as well too, but being around, people that align with your own goals makes it a lot easier.
Definitely easier. Yeah. Align, or whether it be, just that understanding, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yes, similar people, like, passionate about what they're doing. Doesn't have to be in the same industry or anything like that, but definitely people who want similar things in life. And I think that's how you build relationships, isn't it? Like,
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I stuck at it. I feel like I was always, like, I've got a really beautiful group of girlfriends. They're all like in separate groups, but I've got but when you see like a group of girls and they're all hanging out together, like, sometimes it makes me cringe because I'm like, I could not be, I just could not do that.
I do struggle in groups like that.
Yeah.
Like, every now and again, the girls from the gym will have a girls' night, and always after it, I get messages saying, "Are you okay? Like, you okay?" Because I just go quiet. Like, I do struggle. Like, I'm just like, I can't get in that girly hype like that. And I think
I know a lot of you listening as well too. I feel like there's more girls out there that are like that, of like, I can't get into it. You've got your close girlfriends or whatever, but as far as having like a group of like 10 girlfriends where you're all like, that is just like a group of bitchiness to me. Like, where they'd be just
I like one-on-ones.
Yeah. You like those DNFs.
Yeah, I like one-on-one.
Yeah. I've got a lot of girlfriends. They're all just separate, and a lot of them actually don't know each other except for just through me, or we only catch up if it's like, something that's celebrating, a milestone of mine kind of thing. And then, so they don't really know one another. And I feel like that's kind of keeps the bitchiness out of situations.
When I first, just made me think, when I first started competing and...
Oh, yes, I want to know about this actually.
What? Are you a mind reader? What was I going to say, Jill?
The bitchiness when it comes to competing against other women.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the next. Don't forget that. Yeah.
Let me write it
down. No, what I was going to say was, when I first started competing and my husband was like, you're good at this. You should run at this.
Yeah.
He pretty well straight away said, if you're successful at this, remember that your circle will get small but tight.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah. And then, a little bit of bashing online, and then bitchiness through girls as well. So it does sort of interconnect with what you're saying. But the circle definitely did get smaller and tighter.
Yeah.
And the further I climb, the smaller it gets and the tighter it gets.
Yeah.
And
like they say, it's lonely at the top.
It's lonely at the top. And that's what he said. He goes, be warned, it's lonely at the top.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, I've got great friends. But it's so true. The more you throw your eggs in one basket, the more you dive into something that you're extremely passionate about. And as you succeed, the people who love you and understand and have the right intention will decrease.
Yeah. Yeah, they want to let you do what you do, and they think that you'll just focus on that they don't.
Yeah, I'm sure there's an array of reasons why, but the circle definitely gets smaller.
Yeah.
But I think it also gets tighter.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful thing. And I like that. And I think that has affected me in that when I go to a big group setting, I'm like...
I do love that you still go though, because I
like to go. I like to show my face, but I definitely go a bit quiet.
Yeah.
So
I can't see that in you though. I don't, because I only deal with you one-on-one.
Yeah.
Right? And even if we've gone out for lunch or dinner, or like, it's always just one-on-one anyway.
Yeah.
It's never, because I feel like it'd be unfair if we were to invite anyone else because we'd be just like this.
be
And
like,
they wouldn't be in the
"Oh, sorry."
conversation, right? So
Forgot you were there.
Yeah, I can't even picture you, being quiet in those situations.
I've always been like quite shy. Like when I was little, I was really shy.
Yeah.
I didn't speak for ages. I'd hide behind my mum's leg and literally just like, but always been one-on-one. Even as
Yeah.
a kid, I
Yeah.
would come out of my shell.
Yeah.
So I've sort of held that trait for a long time. I
Yeah.
think I'm quite standoffish. And then as soon as I let you in,
Yeah.
there's no holds barred. Like I
Yeah.
will tell you anything openly, honestly.
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
nothing to hide, and
Yeah.
I will let you in as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah. And you
Um,
are quite in depth. Like you are, I do see it now as like, now that you're explaining it like that, you would have rather have that one-on-one D&M with one person than have chit chat with 10 girls.
Yeah,
It's just like
yeah.
a on the surface kind of chat, which is pretty much sometimes what those.
Yeah, and
what
it's
those
nice
things
to
are.
do that every now and again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And do you sit there and go, fuck, I'd rather be at the gym?
probably.
Yeah.
Or there you go. Are you going to the gym straight after this? I'm like, yep.
Sorry,
Hang on, I've
I've
got to
I've
go.
got to go to the gym.
Only got 3 minutes between sets.
Oh shit, that's so funny. Can we talk about? I just want to know.
Yeah.
What is it like in the competing world, going up against women? And you guys are up against one another.
You know what? I think it's really hard. And it comes back to, I think we touched on before when I said, because you're being judged on your body, a lot of other factors come into how you feel, how you think, and everything. And I think because it is a body thing, it's very judgmental.
Yeah.
You know, one,
Yeah.
you're being judged, so
Yeah.
you have to get over that and you
Yeah.
have to take that on and get in the right mindset about being judged on your body. But then, of course, backstage, because you're judged on your body, guess what you're doing? You're looking at everyone and judging them.
Yeah. Oh,
which is
do
pretty
you?
disgusting,
Yeah.
but it's,
that's what you're there
but
for.
that's what you're there
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
So that's a hard
Yeah.
one, isn't it, to play? Like
Yeah.
to judge, but not judge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, and there's a difference between analyzing a physique and being a bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
A big
But
difference.
some women, men and women,
And I was going to say, it's not just
don't
women.
know how to.
It's not just women.
Yeah, differentiate that.
That. And that's, I
are there
think
big
that's,
bitches in there?
I think definitely like, and I didn't, not really the bitchiness, but an example I use is in London. Like I did the amateur show in the morning, one
Yeah.
that turned pro. And then in the pro show at night, just felt completely different backstage. Like they're all professionals. That's their career.
Yeah.
So it's a different ball game,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Anyway, so they're all backstage. There's coach, athlete, very serious. No one talks.
No, don't talk
The
to
athletes
anyone.
are just all head down and
Yeah.
the coaches are just scanning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, don't look at me.
Yeah, you may as well be just standing
You
there
know?
naked, right?
Well, you pretty much
Yeah. Yeah,
are,
well,
you know.
with your dental floss.
Yeah, yeah. But when I went into the bathroom to get changed into my bikini,
Yeah.
there was another girl in there and I was like, oh my God, that's like, I knew them from social media.
Yeah, yeah.
An Olympian.
Yeah.
Anyway, she was struggling to put her bikini on. Anyway, so I went up to her and said, oh, like, do you want me to hook that up? And she was like really standoffish. And I
Yeah.
was like,
She's like,
Like,
why are
I-
you trying to help me? We're competition.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And I didn't pick on her. Like me, I'm just so, I
Me?
guess,
Yeah.
naive in
Yeah.
that regard.
Yeah.
Like
But
I'm
you're,
just,
it's like.
and I
you're
just
not
thought like you're struggling. And it's hard to put on anyone watching who's in bikini or figure. It's actually quite hard to get the figure suits, especially when you're
That size.
It's hard to hook it up and do it by yourself. Like it's
Yeah.
like putting a bra
Yeah.
on backwards
Yeah.
and trying to do it up and not being able to
I
do it
struggle
around.
just the bra now. I'm
Yeah,
like, I'm
so,
like, yeah.
and like hooking it up. Anyway, so I went over and I said, like, do you want me to hook it up? And I said, this one's twisted, and she couldn't get the other one. She was like, like, can I trust you? Can I not
Are you
trust
gonna
you?
jeopardize
Are
me?
you going to jeopardize me? Like, you're going to, like, you could just, and I didn't pick up on it to start with. I was like, like, do
you want help or not?
Do you want help or not? Like, I'm happy to help you.
Yeah.
But she'd obviously looked at me and gone, "Your competition, like,
Yeah.
shit, where the fuck have you come from?"
Yeah,
Which I didn't think, because I was like, I'm a little amateur coming into the pro show. Anyway, and then after the show, she said, like, "Thanks so much for doing up my bikini." And I was like, "You're more than welcome. They're freaking a pain in the ass to do up." Like, and she said, "Just be careful." And I was like,
what does she mean? Like,
and she meant that it's not all nice and pie backstage. It's
Yeah.
not all nice. Like, these girls are professionals. This is their career.
Yeah.
And things happen to put you off. You're in competition with
Yeah,
each other.
yeah.
You're not there to help each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Shit.
Ooh.
Fine, let your tits flying out.
They're fake anyway.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Yeah, I'm already jealous of you,
But yeah, she was like, just be careful. You're in the pro circuit now, and it's not all nice and pie.
Yeah.
You know, so just pretty much she was saying, watch your back.
Yeah.
I was like, ew. So there is that bitchiness.
Yeah.
There is, but you know what? I think at that level, it's competitiveness.
Yeah.
You're there to win.
Well, also too,
There's money on the line.
Yeah.
There's reputation on the line.
Yeah.
There's business on the line.
And
There's sponsorships.
We've
Blah blah blah.
spoken about, when it comes to, going up on stage, the confidence, is huge as well too. Like being focused and having that confidence. If a competition can try and throw you off with your confidence, they
Confidence
will,
and
right?
getting
It's like
into-
dirty like that.
Well, I'm guessing it does, and I think a saving grace for me is that I don't talk to anyone backstage.
Yeah.
Like, I get so nervous and so
Yeah,
I internalize so much that I don't talk to anyone. So that's probably a saving grace for me. But when you're sitting at, 3% body fat, your body is so sensitive to everything that if someone was to get in your head and raise your cortisol levels and you started stressing out, within an hour your physique could be fucked.
Yeah, right.
Right, because what happens when your cortisol comes up, you
Yeah.
start holding water and that sort of thing. So your conditioning.
There was a reason.
Do I stress you out?
Oh, no. I'm like blaming my partner. Listen, you're raising
But
my
essentially,
cortisol. My body's holding on to water.
So games can be played.
Yeah.
And I never really thought of that. And I always keep to myself, as I said, and I will continue to do so for that reason as well.
Holy shit. No wonder everyone's just like focused, head down. Like,
And you know what? It's the coach's job to do everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah.
And that's what you have your coach there for. And especially at that level, you see it across all fields of, high level athletes.
Yeah.
They're head down, bum up. They are focused. You
Yeah.
see on the tennis court, right?
Yeah.
Who's doing all the running around? Definitely not the athlete.
yeah,
They're,
yeah.
boom, this is me, I'm focused. So yeah, backstage, definitely, I think there's a lot of judging going on.
Yeah.
In the wrong way.
Yeah. I totally didn't even think about that until today.
But yeah, at that, like, when you think about that, even the science of the body, you've got to be calm, like heart rate's got to stay down, and at that level, when you're pushing, 3% body fat and you're playing with, trying to be dry and this and that.
On 1-3%.
Yeah, well, we're pretty close to it.
Yeah.
You've got to stay in control of those emotions, thoughts,
Yeah.
your hormones, the levels of cortisol and that sort of thing. So it's so important.
There is so much
There's so
more
much to it.
involved. Here I was just thinking, and if you're new to this, into bodybuilding, and you're thinking, it's just, making sure you eat to your macros and really, excessive, like strong, focused training. It's fucking hell.
There's a lot to it.
So much more
there's a lot
involved.
to it. And we said last night, we've got a couple of guests coming on
Yes.
that we're going to delve into like a lot
Yeah.
more. That's going to be
I
exciting.
tell you what, I'm really excited for the guests that you like the people that you've mentioned. I do have to say, I'm really excited to get your new coach on. This man, from what I've heard from you, is just the wealth of knowledge that he has. I just feel like it's going to blow all of our minds.
Yeah, and super willing to share everything.
Yeah. It'll
Yeah.
probably be a bloody 4-part episode, like before.
I think we
hours
might have to
long.
break it up, but
Yeah.
But I'm super excited to share, even that sort of side of things. And we're going to get some other professionals on as well this year that are going to talk about other ways that that we can succeed or not in this realm, and how it affects the body and that sort of thing.
Now, I know this might sound really boring, right, as soon as I say this, but I'm really interested in this one as well too. So Christy's dentist will be joining us.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about the importance of your mouth hygiene, and just how much it affects not only your brain, your mouth, your brain, your gut, everything. I've only recently have discovered just how much your mouth health affects your body. So I'm so interested.
I think people,
to learn more.
you're going to be gobsmacked.
Yeah.
Literally, pun intended.
God! It'll make you bloody go and get your mouth checked. Anyway, let's put it that way.
But I'm super keen to bring on quite a few professionals to talk about that. One, we can bring it back into our general life as well.
Yeah.
But just how all of these things come into and play a huge role in succeeding at that high level.
I feel like this is also like an adaptation onto, those little 1%ers.
Yeah.
Of like, what else can you do?
What else
to
can
be
I
the
grasp
best?
on?
Yeah.
Definitely, I might talk to Coach about sharing some of the things that he's put in play with me that was a little bit overwhelming to start off with, but even like just a neuroplastic work and stuff like that he's doing. And some people would be like, oh, like that's a bit much, isn't it? But as you know, I'm a 1% grabber.
Yeah.
You
How
know,
far do you want it? How important is it to you?
How important is it to you?
Yeah.
And if you're throwing all your eggs in one basket, you want to really, if you're sacrificing so much in other areas, I am all in, and I am going to grab on every single thing possible to make it worth it.
Yes, yeah.
Because if you're not all in, then
get the fuck out.
Get the fuck out. Well, you know what? Get the fuck out. But what is it worth the sacrifice?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. What are you sacrificing for if you're not fucking doing that? I completely agree with that as well. Yeah.
So it's exciting.
It is exciting. It's going to be a bloody awesome year ahead. 2025, I'll tell you what, this is going to be our year. It's going to be your year as well. I feel like, like we keep saying, 2024 prepared us for this bitch.
Yeah, totally did. We're ready.
We are so ready. Look, we're going to wrap it up on that. I think it's a brilliant way, to wrap up. Exciting episodes to come.
Yeah.
We're going to see I feel like we're going to see some really dramatic changes in you, over the next couple of months in the lead up to everything. I'm looking at you now going, holy shit, like you've changed so much.
My
since
body
has,
since last week.
Yes. Honestly, when I saw you last night, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, and I even was like, you look tanner, you look bigger, like you just look so swole.
We've made lots of changes, and I'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're not big changes.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, is that really going to make a difference?
Yeah.
Like, is that any different to what I've been doing or whatever it may be? It's pretty amazing. It's like when you're at the top level, those 1%ers, those slight little changes make a big difference.
This is proof that
and I think that's where I'm so excited too.
Yeah.
Like, you make big hard decisions and then you walk through another door or whatever it may be, and it gets exciting.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. We could just sit. Honestly, we could just sit here and talk for hours. But my phone's only got so much storage. All right, bye guys. Catch you next episode.
Ready?